Hello, how you doing today? I'm Federico. Welcome to the channel. Starting in like Overwatch has finally started on Overwatch, but we'll get to that in a moment. Now we're gonna finally get to Genshin. New patch just came out, and the final Fontaine. That means we could finally level up the fucking tree, which we have enough to max it out. We literally have enough to get those 10 levels. See you all after the ad. Come on. Screen time in. It plays. That. Gotta claim our free Prime stuff. My goddamn controls. Some other stuff, some events, whatever. Lenny and Father. It's Arcolino. Rocks and something or whatever, some other bullshit. Sentiment Night web events. Alright, so place plus right now. Give us presents and other shit. Doing it for fixes, doing it for maintenance. All these daily logins. The live stream codes. 3, 6, 7, 800, 40, 940.
Once, there was a glorious kingdom established among the heavens. From that kingdom came
Bard
a
is telling us a
crowned
story.
heir, tasked with seeking out the Genesis Pearl from the kingdom of darkness. The first crowned heir began her journey of seeking the pearl. But she was deceived, and the memory of her noble origins faded. She now believed that she was the queen of the kingdom of darkness. But take heart. A second crowned heir had already taken up the path where the first had stumbled. This is the story of your journey, of your tale to be told.
Rest. Random weapons, who cares? Yep, we logged in. Hands up for Felonious Warbow. 40. Specifically the Felonious Warbow. Against 8 4-star artifacts level 8. So he just went to 5 stars, whatever. No idea what her moves are. I don't really care too much, but the knee is the main. Of course, Lynette's always part of it. So for charge attacks, increase percent for every same element of team fielder. Gain 1 gimmick stack. For a different element type, get 1 theatric stack. 3 stacks, like this, 1 theatric stack, speed. For weapon. Full arm. Sudden Shadow. Grants a bond of life equal to 25% of the max HP when a charge attack hits an opponent. This effect can be triggered once every 14 seconds. In addition, when the equip has a bond of life, they gain 12% damage bonus. If the value of the bond of life is greater or equal to 30% of the max HP, then gains 24%. What? Okay, so it's equal to 25%. If the value of the bond of life is greater than or equal to 30% of max HP, so she probably has a HP mechanic that raises that. Let's run her story. Region Undersea Capital. Lost Homeland. Statue of marble and brass. Still regions here we don't know about. The new region is here, directly between Fontaine, the desert, and Libre. And the new Chengdu Vale. Also Marrow too. Because in the middle of the water, we're assuming there's going to be more boat combat and other stuff. Like I said, that's all we can assume. Are enabled, right? Or do the drops actually start tomorrow? Yeah. Drops are enabled. Supposedly, as a streamer, all you have to do is just stream. But I always freaking lurk myself because that is not always a guarantee. Even though it's supposed to be. Going to my rally in 3 minutes, then. Oh, there's an actual message now. Treasure compass and not detect any chests nearby.
Anything the knights
It
can do for you?
actually tells you.
Jewels from Liyue. Come take a look.
The world remains constant over the centuries, but human life is like the dew at dawn, or a bubble rising through water. Transitory.
The neighboring nation of Liyue has the most prosperous commercial port in all of Tibet.
You can walk around me.
Think the knights can do for you?
Jewels from Liyue. Come take a look.
Albedo. Has a quest, but it doesn't look like I guess there's any particular story. So the story is literally from her hangout then. Okay. So first thing we're doing is just fucking
Inactivity.
maxing out the goddamn fountain. So this looks a long ass. Kind of hard to tell the story when they literally finished all the story. Alright, offer up. They have halfway at least. Resin, fates, some things, bow, some crown. Hydro sigil shop unlocked if we get to the full. So we do need to open these stupid chests. Ugly or genius researcher bunny. A or B. Suspicious smuggling or genius researcher. Look at the academy. B is researcher.
The Winter Shogun approaches.
A dragon spine is not real. Can't use small stack.
It's getting colder and colder. Rosaria, aren't you freezing?
Gimpy outfit.
Me? I'm all right. I got used to operating in adverse conditions a long time ago.
Huh? Seems like there's more to being a sister in the Favonius Church than Paimon realized.
The world remains constant over the centuries, but human life is like the dew at dawn, or a bubble rising through water. Transitory. Inactivity serves no purpose whatsoever.
Fire shouldn't care. Not gonna care. Fire your fire. Wait, it's not gonna go well.
Let's roll. Let's not waste time. Okay, that one hurt.
Good. I'll ask for it.
Can't catch me.
Strike life goes on.
Attaboy!
No escape! Inazuma shines eternal!
Trumper.
Shine down! Ha! Ha!
Nice.
Let's roll.
Illusion shattered! Ha!
This way.
I
Those idiots. Fire. Next time, go that way. Apparently, I've been following the tracks in the wrong. Only way from that where he went.
Line down!
Attaboy! Let's roll!
Needle's going country.
Can't catch me!
The girls dancing, and now we just see.
Is that Albedo? Why would he hang around a place like this?
Oh, my name. Hopefully we can resume exactly where we left off. There we go. My brother was signed in. With switch use sign out.
The word on the street is he loves painting. He'll hang around anywhere for a good landscape. The views and scenery here are pretty good. Potential paintings everywhere you look.
But can't he see those hilichurls? Isn't he in danger?
Clearly having a circle jerk right there. Here.
Looks like we startled them. Let's talk. Let's take them out of the picture first.
Who are you? Why did you alarm them? Thank the gods I'd already completed my painting. Would have been a shame to leave these particular hilly trails unfinished.
Hey, never girls. I thought you were paying landscape.
What's up with painting hilichurls? What makes them so interesting?
I'm afraid the answer isn't easy to explain. If you'd like to have a look at my painting, it may give you a clue.
15 minutes. That should work. Doesn't even say you have to watch it technically, but good clue. Very avant-garde.
Wow, look at the detail! But some of it seems to have been done in a hurry.
You can find these holy churls anywhere. Quite boring, in fact. Not worth closer inspection. But take a look at this specimen.
This
The build,
specimen.
the coat, and there's a distinct force at work here. In the cyclical lives of such primitive communities, such unique attributes are an indication of evolution at work. Evolution, the transition from nothing into existence, from the known to the
Hold your horses. Ugh, something tells me we're in for a thesis and I haven't got the stamina. We found your man. I'm headed back.
What? Don't you have any questions for him? Hey!
I guess you might have to actually watch, or I might have to actually open the game.
What a weirdo.
So Sister Rosaria brought you. Surprising. And I didn't have time to thank her. But back to the point. From her words, it seems that you were looking for me?
We met a girl in Mondstadt, Sucrose. She said you were stuck with your research.
I see. So Sucrose sent you here. Then, if I'm not mistaken, you must be the honorary knight. You've got the whole of Mondstadt talking. I've heard a bit of everything. Your actions during Storm Terror's attack, your elemental control, and quite a few other mysterious things.
You join the thing, like, there's nothing to really watch, and just stream. I just want to test something. This is the game, and I have the game on. They have to run the game.
I'll skip to the conclusion. There's only one possibility after all.
I'm already streaming it, but it
You
doesn't
came
count this
from
way.
afar. From
I'm
another
not playing
world,
it on PC.
correct?
Correct. Or for Scarlet Reputation.
Excellent. If I could procure your assistance, I think my research would benefit enormously.
Search. I understand.
Forgive me. This must be confusing. Where should I begin? The essence of life?
Because the quest is specifically stream it to a friend, but I guess the friend has to actually watch.
Well, you want to start with that?
You're right. Giving a demonstration would be better than trying to explain. For example, awakening life. Breathing new life into fallen leaves.
Really cool weapon. Drop.
You can do that?
Alchemy is so miraculous. Alchemy is really useful.
However, I have a particular seed in my possession. The method I'm talking about has produced no results. It's like you, in that it hails from another world. Helping it to grow, to bloom. That's the problem my research is up against. That's where I need your assistance.
Well, if you're struggling to figure it out, Paimon's not sure we're gonna be much assistance.
I beg to differ. I'm unable to comprehend the intricacies of life outside of the known world.
While the Traveler, on the other hand.
But you're not from the known world. By observing and researching you, I may just be able to find a way to get the seed to sprout.
I am an object of research.
Shall we just get out of here? This sounds a little freaky.
Danger? What's in it for me?
Mora, knowledge, and the answer to the question you are seeking. It happens to be an answer that I can provide. How does that sound? Time for a change of surroundings. We should be going. There's research to do.
Oh, sorry.
Albedo and that traveler seem to have hit it off. Takes a weirdo to know one, I guess. I wonder, does this constitute a risk to Mondstadt?
Test site. Her up.
Illusion shattered!
Has a question. After the seed sprouts, will it grow into anything?
I don't know, but I feel the importance will lie in the method, not the endpoint. Using alchemy to awaken otherworldly life into that would constitute a big leap in my understanding of the essence of life. After awakening, even creation may be possible. Still a little difficult to understand?
No, Paimon's got a brain. But what's the seed gonna become? Isn't that more interesting than whatever it was you were saying?
Doesn't seem like you understand. Oh no.
Well, if it turns out to be a delicious fruit, dinner's on me.
Yay! Paimon's holding you to it.
You're not to keep Paimon on board. You've seen through Paimon's ulterior motives.
Well, let's just say I, occasionally have to look after a child. Another lengthy
Paimon is a child.
explanation, I'm afraid. I suppose it's one of the few non-alchemy related disciplines I'm any good at. The subject of my first research was the elements. In this world, manipulating the elements requires a vision. Though I can't see anything resembling one on your person.
So you're not going to join the video to see if it works, buddy? I just want to see if it works.
How you're able
If
to
it does, it's
freely
only 15
manipulate
minutes.
elemental power is something I'd like to ascertain. I've got a few questions in that
Are you?
regard.
Okay. So I guess, yeah, it looks like I have to actually start the game. I'll have to do it later when I finish on a better place. Because I have to actually launch the game, it looks like.
Firstly, do you have any extra organs? A second heart? A fourth stomach? Things of that nature.
No, not that I'm aware of.
Fascinating. And this floating child is
Child.
connected to your body in some way?
What a stupid question. Can't you see the gap between us? And another thing, it's Paimon, not floating child.
Bloody hungry child.
I was merely considering the possibility that you were an external organ. Perhaps there is some invisible force connecting you.
Yeah, I met Paimon on one of my travels. I caught Paimon on with my fishing rod. Yeah, not an organ.
Oh, that rules out that possibility. I wonder, did Paimon guide the elemental power to you?
Not Paimon, but
But that would mean that Paimon's elemental power would be enough to break through a mountain rock at least 10 meters thick, or cause the waterfall south of Springville to flow backwards.
Paimon is confuses.
No, that definitely can't be it.
Hey, how would you know anyway?
Like, all he has to literally do is flick Paimon in the forehead. Nope, you don't got no power.
In that case, it would appear that there's no obvious difference between the composition of your body and that of the humans in this world. Given that there's clearly a discrepancy in their research, it seems that only experimentation will yield the answers. Firstly, this mysterious elemental power. I'd like to examine exactly how it manifests externally.
So now we're gonna battle something randomly, like we
Let
did
me lure
before
a few
for
slimes to the area.
Du's
Perhaps
tournament.
you'd be able to defeat them, using whatever method comes most naturally to you.
Huh? Doesn't seem very sciencey.
Direct and clear observation are imperative to a good experiment. This is just a simple exercise. Naturally, if you require a greater challenge, we could bring in 6 Oceanids.
6 Oceanate. Yeah, we'll do that.
Slimes. Slimes are fine.
I don't follow. It seems like a hassle. As long as I'm not being battled against Hydro Mimics.
Well, prepare yourself. The slimes will be here any moment.
Attaboy!
Go.
Come on, buddy.
There is no escape.
Oni coming through!
Beat the shit out of some slimes. One second.
Wheel of Life.
Great work. Did you feel anything out of the ordinary? If you're injured, I have a few emergency potions ready.
No scratch, just a bit cold.
Excellent. According to my observations, the manifestation of the external elemental flow is as expected. Elemental reactions are normal. There's nothing out of the ordinary. Now that we know that the external flow is manifesting normally, let's test the internal flow.
Internal flow? How do you test that?
It's very simple. I can use alchemy to create a potion that will extract elemental power. If the elemental power is stored or accumulated physically within your body, this potion may elicit an elemental reaction.
Will it make my stomach swirl? Will it crystallize in my stomach?
Kinda terrifying.
Don't worry. In the normal course of events, you'd feel some temporary queasiness.
Those are
No
what the
bodily
options were.
injury.
Post events, you feel some temporary queasiness. Oh, body injury.
And in the abnormal course of events?
If anything unexpected occurs, I've made the necessary preparations.
That's
Try
not
not to
hugely
worry.
reassuring.
Well, it's not that there aren't any risks involved. But if there is anything blocking your elemental flow, we'll be able to locate it with this test. Just a warning. If an internal elemental reaction occurs for any other reason, that's a bad sign.
Like a health checkup.
Yes, that's an excellent way to think about it. Before we get started, the potion we'll use for the test is missing a catalyst. We'll need to find it. It's a type of ore known as star silver, but unfortunately not all of it is suitable. I'll take you to my campsite. We can gather some star silver ore on the way. I'll point out any likely contenders. All going to plan, we should be able to begin concocting the potion when we get to the campsite.
Paimon's still got a few safety concerns, but it seems like there's a silver lining. Let's keep our eyes open.
Hey, catch me!
Here. Should do for catalyst purposes.
Our silver callus.
This one. Usable with a bit of polish. Look. This should be enough. My campsite is just up ahead. I'll lead the way.
Wow, is this campsite?
This is my campsite. I've added the materials we collected to the concoction. While we are waiting, have a look over here.
There's someone there. He's a Geo.
My assistant Timaeus here is helping me with my research. I'm guessing you may have met in Mondstadt already.
Hello! I've just gotten hold of the data from your experiment. The report is already up on the board there.
Whoa! Look at all the data! You got all these results from one slime battle?
I wouldn't call them results, inferences, and a few daring guesses, perhaps. I think the most rational direction would be to expound on the phylogenetic relationship between this traveler and the slimes.
Relation? I thought you and Paimon and I were more closely related.
Consider. You don't have a vision, but you can manipulate elemental energy. The slimes don't have visions either, yet they too are able to manipulate the elements.
How do you know they don't have
Following this line of thought, I'm sure we'll be able to establish a basis in fact.
Not bad for a point of entry. But strictly speaking, slimes are elemental life forms. In other words, beings consisting entirely of the elements.
So how do you know the traveler isn't?
A cryoregisvine, or even a whopperflower might be a better analogy. But tracing back the phylogenetic relationships between plants and animals, you might have to trace back to the world's origins. In that sense, things might get difficult, don't you think?
Yes, sir. That sounds correct.
After all, we've got our primary data already. This traveler is a visitor from another world. If it turned out that he did have a phylogenetic relationship with this world... Now that really would be something, wouldn't it?
Ah, it would. Apologies. I was so excited to get the data. I'll slow down a bit next time. Speaking of data, to complete our research, we'll need some more. I'll be conducting analysis here for the time being. If you're keen for an update, just come and find me.
Great, I'll leave you to it.
And off he goes.
Looks like the potion's ready. I'll try a little first. If all goes well, I'll hand it over to you. In line with my expectations. Ready to drink. Remember to keep calm at all times, and breathe deeply if you feel unwell.
Doesn't
Yes.
sound very rigorous. Surely there's another approach.
I've just tried some. It's in line with my expectations.
Yep. Nature's flying rats.
Remember to keep calm at all times, and breathe deep. I'll be noting down all observable results and data points.
Sweet, delicious drink. Drink the potion. It's always weird when they force you to use an item that they give. Oh yeah, I think one of the things I sent you the other day had a list of comparison between Genshin and Honkai characters to two characters in Third Impact. A potion albedo made using alchemy. Like I said, you'll see one that has like a picture comparing four characters, and there's like four sets of pictures in that one. It compares a lot of characters from Honkai and Genshin to Third Impact characters. Potion made using alchemy, despite its unusual color, Beetle insists the potion will work as expected. Drinking it should not cause any acid. Beetle and here his conclusion.
Tasty? You've got a funny look on your face.
Burning a bit. Drank these?
You said you tried some already. You sure it was ready? What happened to him?
Oh, this was the result I was expecting. And a very positive one at that. This potion channels elemental power into the body. Under normal circumstances, a repelling reaction is to be expected.
I simply send you the better ones. Like I said, you'll see one that has like four pictures on it. Like it scroll up and you'll see the one that has a bunch of people. Like you should see 4 or 5 people compared to another one. So like you see 8 or 10 people in the first picture alone. Keep going. It's within the last day or two. You'll see a bunch of people in the picture.
But if the internal elemental flow is unimpeded, you'll only experience momentary discomfort. Once
Takes a
the
moment to
flow is
load.
complete, there won't be any other effects.
So you knew you'd be sick and still drink some?
Within the last 2 or Click on it because like there's 4 or 5 pictures. Like I said, click on the link because there's 5. Just the first.
It was my own concoction, of course. Only natural for me to be the guinea pig.
A consideration of test subject. A risk to you.
But of course, you're my assistant. By all sense and reason, it would be wrong of me to place that risk onto you. In conclusion, I'd say we have our conclusion. As far as elemental energy is concerned, you're no different from anyone else in this world. Nothing peculiar.
Aw, Paimon wanted something cooler to happen.
Then again, better an ordinary result than a peculiar result. Peculiar results have a tendency to be of the
You can open it on your phone and it'll probably
undesirable
be
variety.
easier. Just be smaller. Like you're referring to something in particular.
The good thing about ordinary is that everything is an object of reference, and everyone understands you. People are the same. They can understand, empathize, encourage, and support one another. When you're sick, a doctor can diagnose you because they are you. When something goes wrong, you can ask people who've made the same mistake for their experience because you are them. But a peculiar person, they don't have much recourse for the things we take for granted. The essence of their life is fundamentally different. For example, a human can't understand the life of a pyroregisvine or an eye of the storm. Have I explained it clearly enough?
I think I'm getting it. Seems like there's another layer of meaning here.
To sum up, this has been a positive outcome. Going forward, you can use your elemental power without fear. Timaeus, the results of the new experiment are out. If you could see to collating them.
Just a moment, sir. I'll handle it. Oh,
Timaeus.
you gave me a lot to consider. Really stretched my limits. I'm thinking a lot clearer now. Having you down as an animal wasn't very precise of me, but starting with the premise of an elemental life form, now that was...
Not bad. I think it's an interesting line of inquiry. Whatever the truth of the matter, I'd like your research at the fore as opposed to my judgment.
You can count on me, sir. I'll extract a result satisfactory to all.
Is he trying to join the Knights? He's starting to sound like a suck-up. What Paimon meant to say was, that's the spirit? Mr. Albedo, say something.
Before we can proceed with our research, I need to prepare something. Wait one moment.
Like I put it on the... I posted it again in your messages, so you just click on that at the bottom.
If you're interested, why not have a look around? It may help to pass the time.
So you shouldn't have to need to scroll up, but missing a lot of nice things by not scrolling up.
An elemental life form from another world. As soon as we have strong evidence, this may end up subverting a lot of alchemical theories. Albedo's research will see huge progress.
Reserve shelf. Stack with books and potions. Looks like the owner has a habit of reading and researching potions simultaneously. Mission board. Board some incomprehensible experimental reports stuck on it. So you can tell the progress being made in those experiments. I sent it to you already, so yeah, I sent it to you again, so it should be the very first thing when you at the bottom. Alchemical tables, some potions and other apparatus are laid out here. Albedo's uses for investigate the world. It couldn't hurt to touch it, would it?
Here's Albedo. Let's go see him.
I'm back. Did you see anything interesting?
Make heads or tails of it. They're very organized.
Agreed. I'd love to find a moment to put them all in order. Still, experiments come first. Well, on with the research. There may be significant differences between different worlds. Take Tevat, for example. Here, those with visions can manipulate the elements. But worlds may well exist where only one person is able to do so. Or even everyone. So, leaving elements to one side. Do you possess any unique abilities? Ones that don't exist in this world? I think answering this question calls for the same methodology as last time. In other words, time for the next experiment.
I'm bounding slimes again. I'm drinking my fill, thanks.
No. You shan't be required to exert quite so much effort this time around. Now, see this pillar here? Use your willpower to try and break it.
Willpower. I can't do that. Come on, you give it a shot. Well, like you can break rocks by mining with your sword, so yeah. Come on, you give it a shot.
You think Paimon knows how to do that stuff?
Of course not.
That was your best effort? Well, can't be helped, I suppose.
Tell him you do mining with a sword.
Have you tried using your elemental power with food? I don't mean for cooking as such. Rather, channeling your power into the ingredients themselves. I'm curious to see how the taste and texture respond. It may even help with proliferation.
Alchemists certainly have active imaginations. Sure you're not just a peckish.
I suppose I have a curiosity for things that others find surprising. Anyway, why don't you cook us up a sunshine sprat? I've just finished preparing the recipe.
Paimon was looking forward to more mad scientist stuff.
Mad scientist stuff.
Not only is this recipe a staple for me, it's also worth experimenting with and highly nutritious.
Paimon bets you're just hungry.
Because Paimon is
Does
hungry.
sound yummy, though. Okay, Paimon approved.
I know what you're getting at. I'll save you a fin or two.
Good buddies are always on the same page.
I'll leave you to it then. Looking forward to the results. If there's anything left over, maybe Timaeus can finish the last morsels.
Paimon doesn't think we'll have that problem.
There'll never be any leftovers with Paimon around.
I'm gonna channel elemental power into the food. Maybe try the willpower thing again. Where does it get these ideas from anyway? Let's just do it the old-fashioned way.
The world remains constant over the centuries, but human life is like the dew at dawn, or a bubble rising through water. Transitory.
I see him perfectly fine. He has to load. Load. Refresh the page. Pictures load. It took me a bit too, so like the pictures are a little bit bigger too. If the pictures are like 10 megabytes or more, then it takes. Slowly dying. Fire.
All the world holds dear is but a backdrop of constant motion.
Just have to refresh the page. And
I stand before it, alone and unchanging.
That was fast. Looking forward to testing the results.
oh, pictures are big, so it does load. It just takes because they're probably big pictures. May have to just refresh the page or just home and let. Anyone else that wants to take a look at it, but this will post. Oh yeah, that's a new recipe, so we had to actually cook it. Sunshine Sprat. Oh, we do have to cook our food for the. Well, fish, no. Here you go, Sunshine Sprats. We'll cook 5 of these. Why not? Defense food that 1% chance to obtain double the product. Yeah, no suspicious food. No Hu Tao food. No suspicious Bennett food.
That was fast. An average outcome experimentally, but you've really brought out the flavor. You seem well versed in the science of gastronomy. As far as the proliferation hypothesis is concerned, we've come up short. Seems like food presents the same headaches in your world as it does ours. Unless... Could it be that the natural laws of this world are limiting your unique abilities?
We just didn't know how to channel elemental power into the food. It's a little more complicated than adding herbs and spices, you know.
Not to worry. At least we put some food to good use. No need to feel disheartened. And here's your portion. Enjoy. I can box it up if you like.
Woohoo! Thanks! glad you were paying attention.
You're Paimon's new favorite. Not often that Paimon gets this much attention.
I can tell that you're good friends. Paimon was keeping an eye on you and your safety during the whole experiment. Not that Paimon would have been able to do much if things had gone wrong. But anyway.
Yeah, Paimon would have been useless.
Hey, you were being nice a second ago, but you do have tasty recipes, so Paimon forgives you. And you're right, we are good friends. You have good friends too, right? Good students?
Yes, I'm fortunate too, I suppose. Anyway, moving on to the next experiment.
He just lied.
There are all manner of alchemical items here. Keeping them in their proper place is a challenge at the best of times. A while ago, I had the misfortune of misplacing a batch. I managed to retrieve the majority, but 2 vials have been evading me. Animal crystal fly elemental extract and electrohypostasis powder.
Paimon's barely finished eating and you want us to go gathering again?
Don't worry if you can't locate them. I was planning to replace them anyway. Though finding them would save me the hassle. If you had, say, a superpower, like night vision or vibratory sensing, lost property would be a thing of the past.
We have vision.
I must have dropped them somewhere in the area where you were looking just now.
So, guess we'd better take a look.
Some elemental traces on the lost items.
Oh yeah, you could use elemental sight.
An interesting term. Compelling. See what you can find. I'll be over here.
Elemental sight.
An elemental life form from another world. Albedo's research will see.
The
Oh,
extract
Mark.
of an animo crystal fly can only be animo elemental energy, right? This has gotta be it. Still in one piece. Good thing the vial's so strong.
Electromark.
This must be electrohypostasis powder.
Goodness. You managed to find them. Incredible. 1,000 thanks. I'm wondering, this elemental sight, this is what allowed you to locate the items and find me here on the mountains, correct?
Yep. Guess it does sort of count as a superpower, huh?
Unfortunately, though elemental sight is seldom seen, it is not unheard of in Teyvat. Only a never-before-seen otherworldly power would be of benefit to my research.
You mean, we failed again?
Don't be disheartened. This falls entirely within my expectations. Besides, getting these items back, I'd call this a very worthwhile experiment. I have to commend your deduction that the items would contain elemental traces. Right then. Up until now, our research has focused on your otherworldly identity. Our research on your identity as one of us is just beginning.
With you at the end. How do I get off this train?
In essence, the differences between humans are reflected in our intellectual and physical capabilities. Let's start with physical. Looking
Let's
out
get
from where we're
physical.
standing, can you see what Sucrose is doing?
Nope. That far away?
And if you jumped from here and landed on that cliff, the one over there, could you see her then?
Nope.
So what about if you planted a single blow on the mountain face here, and it burst into 1,000,000 fragments? Then could you see her?
Nope. Sounds like you're still on the superpower test.
Then I shouldn't get too excited. Still, we'll gain a more thorough understanding with an experiment. I know of a location that will be perfect for a physical test. Please, follow me.
Please follow me while we freeze to death. The third experiment. Life.
to jump? From up here?
Not necessarily. Not if you know of a better method, that is.
We better have a better man. It's not very reassuring.
Whichever method you choose, the experiment will end when you reach the opposite shore of the lake. I will factor the time expended and your top speed into my comparative analysis.
The opposite side of the lake. So, we're gonna be swimming?
Without limitations, we complete tasks intuitively, using the method that seems most rational to us. Some of us would be unable to stand the icy waters. Others might find the whole thing rather refreshing. No matter what choice you make, it's all a part of the experiment. For me, every detail is invaluable to the research.
That kind of experiment. This is actually less stressful than the superpower part.
Then if you would, please, I eagerly await the results.
Wait a minute. While we're busy testing, what exactly are you gonna be doing?
Me? Recording data, responding to risks, providing...
They have the fucking tomato things.
Emotional support.
So if we do decide to go swimming, you gonna dive in with us?
No. Unless you're thinking of conducting competitive research?
Oh!
More or less.
Forget Paimon said anything.
The Farina method, you just walk across the water.
Great work. I've never seen a performance quite like it. Your reputation precedes you, traveler. The data shows that you're easily outperforming the average citizen in Mondstadt.
But you followed us the whole way without breaking a sweat!
Me? Actually, I used alchemy to cheat a little. But anyway, if it turns out that the natural laws of Tavad do not affect you, I should be able to make various inferences about the otherworldly civilization you belong to. If the natural laws of Tavad do affect you, then I shall be able to make inferences into the kind of evolution that would occur under the absence of such effects. The innumerable possibilities that this could present, the captivating insights, it would be something to savor again and again.
But how does this help your research?
You've helped me to unravel many of the problems that were holding it back. When we return to the campsite, I should be able to show you something interesting.
Let's have you research this
I
thoroughly.
may be about to make some analogies between you and a few unusual specimens. I hope you won't be offended. Gold, petrified trees, a sun 8 times the size of our own. The essence of the investigative process is enthralling, but such feelings are inevitably fleeting in nature. I'm willing to pour all my energy into research, and yet specimens are finite. As the unknown transitions into the realm of scientific understanding, the feeling of enlightenment is lost. All these things that start out as objects of fascination end up possessing the prosaic mundanity of a sunsetia or a sweet flower. They cease to be noteworthy.
Oh, so that's why you wanted to paint those hilly turtles? Because you got to see something new and interesting in the differences between them?
Precisely. To quote my exact words from earlier, these creatures are, for the most part, quite boring, not worth closer inspection. There is precious little about them that serves to pique my curiosity now.
So after all these experiments, are we gonna be, like, boring to you? Like some basic draft of a sketch?
Of course not. You have been of great assistance to me, and I will remember this friendship for a lifetime. Now, before we head back to the campsite, there's one more experiment. Intelligence.
We should just do it like very quickly.
Follow me. There are some other ruins nearby.
Quest 4. Ah, that hurt.
Can't catch me.
Shine down!
Let's go.
There is no escape! Now you shall perish!
I froze a freezing Lara Crow. Funny how that works, right?
Shine
Enemies
down!
should be immune to fire. To ice, rather.
Shower the blade! Well,
Illusion shattered!
life goes on. Fast. Ah. May I present?
These ruins.
I imagine you must have encountered more than a few conundrums during your travels. I'd like to observe your intelligence by means of a practical test of your capabilities, much as we did for the physical test.
No problem. Wouldn't a physical test suffice?
I'd like you to explore these ruins and return with your findings. There are 2 puzzles located at the far ends of the ruins. After completion, you should be able to activate the mechanism in the center. As with the physical test, there are no restrictions. Everything you do is an action I wish to observe.
Good at these. There's a will, there's a way.
Remember that this is a test of intellect. So should you get lucky in any way, that won't be factored in as part of the test. So, let's see you in action. Start wherever you like. It's a complex environment, so proceed with caution.
Ah. God damn it. you go.
Sealy like these are a common sight in the mountains. Returning them to their rightful places is up to you.
Strike a pose.
Go.
Shine down.
Boy.
Nice. Ah.
Oh, we didn't climb the right spot.
Let's
Go.
Torn to oblivion.
Puzzle, puzzle, puzzle.
It should now be possible to activate the central mechanism. Exactly what will happen when you do is something I'm looking forward to find. Oh, seems that the water level has suddenly decreased. We should be able to see what's in the water now. Let's have a look.
That was the one thing I was missing with. I never did this event. This quest.
What's this?
Nothing more pairs. Feels like I've seen these before.
To the best of my knowledge, these belong to a script of some kind. They can be found all over Teyvat, but they've never given up their secrets. There's still a lot to learn about them. And as for why they should ever have come to rest here, a true mystery. Let me make a copy first. I'll make time to go over them in greater detail after our research.
Another thing for the don't understand list. Unsolvable mystery this, weird experiment that. It'd be nice to get some cool results for once. Seems like if you want the reward, you gotta pay the price.
I've truly gained a lot from all this. Comparatively, the little reward I can offer is too small to mention. Let me return to the campsite first. By the time you get back, I may just have a fleeting miracle for you to witness.
See you soon. Taking that past the intelligence test.
Paimon's kinda looking forward to seeing the results of all this brain ache. Unless you can think of anything better to do, let's head back to the campsite.
Not so fast. You're not leaving until I'm convinced that nothing dangerous is going on here.
No one cares.
You didn't leave the mountain?
I most certainly did not. And I've witnessed everything that you and Albedo have been up to. I must say, you let your guards down. Or maybe you were drawn in by his compelling-sounding hypothesis and friendly demeanor.
What do you mean? He has ulterior motives?
Taking orders from a complete stranger? Drinking anonymous potions? Participating in all kinds of strange experiments? I'd sooner believe you were tricked than that you would be so naive. Or perhaps you were colluding from the beginning.
Sister Rosaria's guard's so high, she can't even see over the top of it.
Doing the research, I don't think he's a bad person.
It doesn't matter what you think. He could be a saint for all you know. But I understand him a little better than you, Outlander. I'm only concerned with one thing. Whether his alchemy has transformed you into something more sinister.
No way! Paimon would have sensed it. And anyway, he didn't even use any alchemy.
With an alchemist of his level, you wouldn't sense a thing. In any case, I'm not about to let a potential threat back into Mondstadt.
So, what are you gonna do?
I'm here to be sure, so you must have your ways of assuring yourself.
I've got to hand it to you. You have your moments. If I can be sure that nothing you came into contact with is dangerous, that's good enough for me. I've investigated everything else. The only items left on the agenda are these symbols.
But we don't even know what they mean.
That much is true. Not to mention, seems like there's nothing more to them. But for insurance purposes, I'd better make a copy. This is now a location of interest. Regular patrols should be set up here. Now then,
Middle of the frozen
all
mountain.
things considered, I deem that you pose no immediate threat. Which is what I was hoping. I would have been one very unhappy sister if you'd made me work overtime on your account.
Overtime?
Before we go our separate ways, Outlander, a word of advice. Don't be so quick to trust Albedo, and don't repeat the same mistakes that you did this time. You made a lot of rash decisions today.
She's gone! So stubborn.
We're just gonna
Mondstadt
go back
doesn't
to
have
ignoring
many
her.
people like that.
She just lacks security. She's just sensitive. Sensitive.
Huh. Never mind her. Let's go see Albedo.
Let's go ignore everything she said. Picture. Various experiences symbols makes us athletes, which is symbols will be rare food at the same time.
Sorry, there's been a lot of issues with the research. Many of the inferences I collated just don't tally with the data from the experiments. On the other hand, some of the conclusions that Albedo derived from his own intuition have been borne out by the facts. I'm just glad that we've seen some progress, so, no reason to be dejected. Albedo said I did a good job. If you want to hear the results in detail, you'd be better talking to him. I've got work to do.
The record board. Well, help them out. That's all that matters. Otherwise, no one cares. Crackpot. Using the following quest in order to enter the pot. We literally can't enter it until we complete the stupid quest. Why?
You're back. Good timing. I've just about reached the conclusion. You took quite a while. Did you get held up on the way back?
Quite literally, by a sister no less. Don't care, we'll tell them everything. Not really.
I wouldn't worry. She's just doing her job. Time for the results. We got a myriad of data today, and it was very difficult to finish all the research in one go. But the integral preliminary conclusion that I can offer you is you're very much like a human from this world.
Dot. That's it?
You couldn't tell that just by looking? We spent all day working our butts off for that?
Please, I understand that this may have seemed self-evident to you, but in fact, nothing in this world should be taken for granted. Have you ever considered that the world of Tevat may have a natural hostility to Outlanders?
That only the gods would know. Perhaps. Yeah.
I mentioned the natural laws of this world. You're able to converse with me here without consequence, and nothing seems amiss. But it's arguably a small miracle. The only other life form that, like you, has come here from afar is the seed that I mentioned. Under the effects of Tevat's natural laws, it isn't even able to sprout, let alone bloom. But after I observed you, I had another idea. Imitating you helped to inspire my alchemy. And so...
Oh, it looks like something's appearing!
Bloom. That special flower.
The transition from nothing into something, from shoot to stem, and now to fruition. Is not nurturing otherworldly life also nurturing the world itself?
Aww.
Beautiful. It was short-lived.
It would seem that that's as far as we go. A transient bloom of incomparable beauty. Life's proudest achievement.
Paimon thought, with all our efforts, it might have bloomed forever, and it didn't even have any fruit.
My mom couldn't eat it. That's the main...
Life is a manifold tapestry of free entities. Its value shouldn't derive from how long it stays with us. Even a momentary burst is precious. A short life can be well lived. A life lived efficiently, lived to perfection, is necessarily one unburdened by loneliness. So, do you understand what I meant about us conversing here arguably being a small miracle?
I haven't wilted just yet. How the sister is.
Things feel a little heavy right now. Don't be sad. You've got Paimon to look after you. Albedo, Paimon really wants to be your friend.
Thank you both. Even if dispelling loneliness is not essential for life, it certainly doesn't hurt. Your help inspired me to discover the means to make a flower bloom.
I'm a helpful specimen.
I mean that the time I've spent traveling with you in the mountains was a valuable journey for me. In the future, if the need arises, can I solicit your help again?
Alright. If you just want some company, buy me anytime.
Well, glad I can count on you.
And
I made a point throughout of telling
here's
him
our
how
pot still
ordinary
in the
the
back.
results were.
And it faded away.
But what was that sediment I saw forming at the bottom of the vial? It should not have been there. What could it mean? Those born of Earth are bound by its imperfections, but those born of chalk are free of impurities. You and I are alike, both composed of a substance that has yet to be fully defined. If, one day, I lose control, destroy Mondstadt, destroy everything,
Welcome back.
can I rely on you to stop me?
Traveler observation report complete. Missing polygons there. And the last one, to the Academy. You still have a couple other quests unstarted, but not in any particular hurry. We didn't take the right entrance. Yeah, it always makes it seem like it's some other weird fucking spot when we just can go here and... Like, yeah, this is the right entrance. Speed compass. There's something here. All behind that tree. There it is. Yeah, I see it. Underneath the road.
But
Random
a
precious
momentary
chest.
distraction.
Or one over here.
Take them. I have no need.
We're almost to rank up. So very close. There's one in here. Why the fuck is there one in here?
Wait, you two! Just a moment, please.
Oh,
You're the traveler in Paimon, right? I thought you two looked familiar. People have been talking all about you. It's a pleasure to meet you. Do you have a moment? There's something I'd like to discuss with you.
who are you? Have we met before?
My name is Nabil. I'm a Matra in the Academia. You're friends with Sino, right? I've heard him mention you before. Currently, Sino is out investigating a case involving smuggled canned knowledge. It's been days since we've last heard from him.
Oh no. Do you think he's in trouble?
Well, to be completely honest, it's pretty hard to imagine anything that could pose a threat to Sino. But since we haven't heard from him, we're starting to suspect that the case might be more complicated than we had originally thought. Word has it that you two are brave, smart, and extremely capable adventurers.
I'm looking for money.
Do you think you could lend us a hand and help investigate the smuggling?
Alright, since you asked so nicely, we'll help.
Have any further intel regarding the case?
Large amounts of canned knowledge from unknown origins have been appearing on the market recently. Sino suspected that there's a secret route being used to move the capsules. According to some research, using large amounts of canned knowledge could lead to some serious consequences. And, unfortunately, most people have yet to realize that. Rumors also have it that some particularly dangerous canned knowledge has made its way into the market. Regardless of whether the rumors are true or not, this case calls for urgent action. Last we heard from Sino, he was investigating somewhere outside Sumeru City. It seems that he had found some leads at the time, but we haven't heard from him since.
Sounds like we better go look for him. Come on!
Sands of Solitude.
How's the case coming? Any progress?
You literally have not seen us leave, but like, okay. We fell right into the chest.
Take them.
No chest, let's open
I
it.
have no need.
Note in it. I'll stop procrastinating. I'll finish the thesis proposal tomorrow. 5,000 chests every time I waste another day. Leave them more. See how much this chest contains, shall we? Another one.
But a momentary distraction.
I feel like these two are new because we've been here before. I don't know if they changed something. I guess then you open the chest, it resets the timer. So like it also gives you a message now. And look, it actually marks it on the map too. Now. Actually gives that elevation marking too, so. I'm wondering if it works for like multiple chests. I think it's. But if you can mark on that. Really? Behind this? Okay, so here's another one. Be right over here. Yep, and it resets the timer now. So now so if you're actively looking for chests, you can do that without having to waste time. There it is.
Take them. I have no need.
So they did some update, Bunny. Like when you use a treasure compass now, it actually marks it on the map where the chest is. And when you open it, the treasure chest, the compass resets in time, so you can immediately use it as soon as you find it. If you find it in 5 seconds. Right underneath. Ah, there it is. It's in the water.
But a
See, I used it,
momentary
and now I can use it again. And the fuck is up there?
but a momentary distraction.
And up. Really? One thing I hate about climbing this stupid shit. Fucking slide down all this. That way. Oh, that's all the Samara chests at the city. Because that's like one of the things too. Like it takes a lot of time and effort, especially when like you waste it. Like, oh, it's like right behind the tree next to you, and like you have to wait those 30 seconds. So now you can just kind of keep actively doing it.
There you are. We finally found you.
Finally found you.
It's you two. I knew I sensed a familiar presence, but I'm very busy at the moment. We'll have to chat some other time.
For the case of smuggle can knowledge.
That's right. Nabil asked us to come and check on the situation.
So Nabil told you about this? Divulging my location without authorization. I'll let it slide for now. This isn't the time for that.
Certain characters are kind of popular, like their fighting style and everything. Get a good story.
I see. Well, the situation might be more problematic than you anticipated. I've already questioned several people, but gained very little information. Long story short, I was able to learn of the secret location where the canned knowledge is being sold. You're welcome to accompany me if you're interested.
Whoa. Sounds pretty complicated. But having a chance to catch bad guys with Sino, it's like we're a part of the mantra. All right, sign us up.
How are we? Over there.
Boy!
Strike a pose!
Box of adapted drugs.
They're already dead, but I just started.
Is this all you got? Seems even less than last time.
What difference does it make? If you see something you like, buy it. If not, then keep walking.
They've been cracking down on us lately, so we don't have much on hand. If you see something that catches your eye, then now's your chance. There's no telling when we'll have more. What does the Academia think they're doing? Alright, I'll take these here. Let me see what else you have. I don't see any real gems in this batch. It's all pretty ordinary stuff. Whatever, how much do I owe you?
150K. Show us the
150,000.
Mora, and you'll get the goods.
Put the Mora down and your hands up.
It's Sino! When's he ever gonna let up?
Hey, forget the goods! Let's split!
But don't forget the Mora!
Done! Not so fast! You can't escape with Paimon on the case!
What is this? He's got backup now? Doesn't everyone say Sino works alone?
Yeah, he's just on the floor. Panicky.
I don't like the looks of this. Either way, it's gonna be a tough fight. Any ideas?
It's over. It's not like we're making a big cut anyway. I'm not losing my life here.
Huh? Did they really just give up like that?
Just like the others I've cut. They're not deep in the circle, just dealers at the bottom of the chain. All right, I have one question and one question only. Where did you get this canned knowledge?
The pickup location is different every time. The boss tells us where it's gonna be and that's it. We don't get a say in it. He sends someone every 5 days to bring us the goods.
And when is the next batch coming?
I don't know.
He's telling the truth. Honest. Normally, we should have received a shipment 3 days ago, but we didn't get anything. The stock we have right now is from 8 days ago, which is why there isn't much left.
Seems like he isn't getting us anywhere. I wasn't kidding when he said that intel is hard to come by.
I know exactly why they didn't receive their last batch. 3 days ago is exactly when I started my investigation.
Suspicious.
I suspect who's ever running this whole thing knew that I was coming. So they cut all contact with these dealers. When you were trying to escape, you said something about me working alone. Where did you hear that from?
Are you kidding? We've known your name since day one in this business. The boss warned us to watch out and even gave us info about you. But here we are. I guess we never stood a chance.
They already knew all about me and were trying to avoid being detected from the very beginning. These small fries are the only ones they leave out in the open. And no matter how many we catch, it won't further our investigation. If only we had another lead. Like a merchant who sells large amounts of canned knowledge.
Like this little evil black market girl.
Oh, you mean someone like nothing?
Like Dory.
Do you have a potential suspect? You'd better bring them to me for judgment.
Whoa! Judgment?
That's right. I won't turn a blind eye on any dangerous suspect.
Oh. Sounds like we shouldn't ever let Sino meet Dory.
You were mistaken. We don't know any merchants.
I see. Anyway, I'll think of a way to deal with these two and then continue gathering information. If you manage to learn anything, you can find me at Caravan Rebot. And as for you, I don't ever want to catch you buying canned knowledge again. If you possess any unused knowledge capsules, then you should submit them to the authorities immediately.
Okay, I got it. Just keep your nose out of my business.
Hey, what's with the attitude, mister?
What, you got a problem with that too? Listen, buying canned knowledge is a deal between two people, the buyer and the seller. We don't need people like you butting in on our business here. Think about it. If the Academia is hoarding something as convenient and useful like canned knowledge, then they must have been planning only to use it for themselves. Am I right?
Yeah, Masato says you may actually have a point.
The Academia has clearly published the potential dangers of canned knowledge. I don't like having to repeat things. And besides, I'm sure you wouldn't listen anyway. I just hope you understand that your actions are what fuels the smuggling of canned knowledge. If I ever catch you again, I will personally see to it that you are punished. All right, Traveler. I need to go now.
Ha! You think you can scare me?
Traveler, why don't we go talk to Dory? She's got loads of connections and
He's
might be
expecting
able
her
to
to be
tell us
taken there.
something about all this. If Paimon remembers correctly, she's usually at the Palace of Alcazar's array. Let's go!
Sino's gonna follow us. More than likely. The what?
Let's roll!
I guess I have to probably join it again since the last time you disconnected. Second. Okay, I see. So there's nothing to watch.
Best flavor in the world? The sweet, sweet taste of victory. And that's why I've never spent a single mora on any of my snacks. I've won them all, fair and square. That's right. Let's roll!
Well, now I have to join again. You could have just switched windows.
Yeah.
I kind of do that too.
Hey, catch me! Attaboy!
Show him the...
There is no escape. Ha!
Oh, oh, never mind. Like, that looks like a music disc. No, it's a slice of meat. Back to Kabe's place. Oh, Hitam's roommate. Oh, we didn't check the other place, but there's probably nothing there anyways. And she waves. Don't worry about what happened with Sino. But you ran straight here to me?
I see. So that's the latest scoop. Good thing you didn't rat me out. Otherwise, who knows where I'd have to be hiding to avoid attention.
No smuggling the canned knowledge?
No idea. Sorry. I've already cashed out of the canned knowledge business.
Cashed out.
What? You mean you stopped selling it? That's right. With so much canned knowledge flooding the market, it was becoming impossible to fetch decent prices anymore. Besides, it seems that group of smugglers has practically taken over the market. It's a little rule of mine to never fight for a share of someone else's market. If I'm gonna make Mora, it's gonna be the lion's share. Plus, with regulations getting as tight as they are now, I figured I might as well just hang it up.
Sounds like we came all this way for nothing.
Well, not completely. Granted, I don't know who's behind all the smuggling activity, but since you didn't sell me out, I'll let you in on what I do know. After all, those smugglers have really crossed the line, butting their way into the market like that. I hope their luck runs out soon so that I can take over. I mean, so that the industry can become more fairly regulated.
Hey, you just want to make more business for yourself.
Selling canned knowledge really that lucrative?
Don't underestimate its value. Think about it. You can gain all sorts of knowledge while bypassing the troublesome process of studying. Naturally, that makes it a product worth a high price. Of course, not everyone needs that kind of knowledge, but in a market as big as Sumeru, there is plenty of demand. Plus, the cost of production is relatively low, so even if dealers have to cover transportation costs, there's still an enormous profit to be made.
Then why does the academia prohibit selling canned knowledge?
Being able to gain complex knowledge and become a scholar with the snap of your fingers does sound like a dream, doesn't it? But everything in the world comes at a price, right? Gaining knowledge is a complicated process. It requires learning, thinking, and practice. Even when it comes to my own business, I have to go through a lot of preparation before I put anything out for sale. But with canned knowledge, one may simply skip all the hassle and get whatever they need to know immediately. That inherently leads to at least two potential problems. First, you'll accept the knowledge as factual without a second thought, and you'll find it very hard to forget. This means that if the knowledge is flawed, then it'll be very difficult to correct. And second, excess use of knowledge capsules over an extended time diminishes your ability to think. You'll end up becoming like a library that can only store knowledge.
You want to become a library.
Oh, that does sound pretty dangerous. Traveler, you used canned knowledge before. Did you feel any negative effects?
In particular.
Of course, using it sparingly is not an issue, which is exactly why I used to sell it. It's just like how medicine can be used to cure diseases, but can also do harm when overused. It all comes down to balancing the right amount. Anyway, back to the point. There'll be consequences if the sale of canned knowledge by those smugglers is left unchecked. And what's worse, you're playing right into their hands by focusing only on the canned knowledge that's made its way into the market. As far as I know, their real purpose is to distribute information about the Court of Desolation. That's where the real business opportunity is.
The
Court of
Court
Desolation.
of Desolation? What's that?
Rumor has it that it's a site of ruins from the age of King Deshret. It's said that with the treasures inside, one can see beyond life and death. But any research of the ruins is strictly banned by the academia. Word on the street is that there'll be an auction taking place in the desert. They're auctioning rare canned knowledge, some of which is related to the Court of Desolation. Once I heard about the auction, I began to suspect that all the canned knowledge popping up on the market is just a diversion. I'd wager that their real target is the Court of Desolation.
I'll use canned.
Because studying those ruins is not just a simple matter. It requires knowledge spanning several fields. So, if they're aiming to quickly assemble a research team, canned knowledge would be the best solution.
If you can crash into the walls, that'll be more realistic.
As for the auction, chances are they're trying to attract and scout out anyone with interest or expertise on the subject. On the other hand, no one can say
It
for
really
sure
like
that they will ever succeed in finding the Court of
moments where it stops and
Desolation.
moments where it kind of
So,
closes,
they
but
might as well just make a fortune while they're at it by hyping up the related canned knowledge at the auction.
yeah, like I said, it's not your fault. But there's moments where it works fine, and when there's a lot more animated stuff, it doesn't.
Who knows? We might find some leads there.
Like it could be also like depends on what graphics card you're using. Because like whenever like I had to set mine to use the good graphics card for Discord and other things, so that the watch parties could work. So you may have to change Discord to use the good graphics card if you have more than one on your laptop.
That's right. Now that I've shared all that valuable info with you,
See, like right there
it's
is working
time to
fine.
introduce our
It's
limited
slowing
edition
down when
desert
there's more
travel kit.
animation,
It
but
comes complete with a map straight to the auction location.
we
As
saw
I
this
said,
coming.
I also have to make preparations before I sell things, right? Now, let me consider how much I should sell this for. I've got it! 500,000
$500,000.
mora per kit! That's quite the bargain. We'll even offer a 50% discount for Little Paimon's travel kit. Only 250,000 mora.
That means it'll be 750.
Super expensive.
No need to worry, little one. Sino's the one heading this investigation, isn't he? I'll be sure to bill all the expenses to him. All you'll need to do is tell him to go to the Merchants Guild and pay the bill once the mission is completed. Just, be sure to not send him directly here, though, okay? That would leave me completely in the open. I'm sure the General Mahamudra of the Academia would never leave any debt unpaid, and I can only imagine the funds he's allocated for investigations. Oh, maybe I should charge him more.
We better get going. If Dora keeps at it, we'll be out of mora.
By the way, it would be quite a tricky task to get all the canned knowledge off the market, don't you think? You'd probably be making some enemies along the way, too.
Huh? What makes you say that?
Because in the short run, the circulation of canned knowledge benefits everyone. Whoever's behind the smuggling gets a chance to study the Court of Desolation, while knowledge dealers stand to make big profits. Even the buyers get a rare chance to easily access knowledge that's hard to come by. So, you see, it's a win for everyone. Who would want anyone stepping in and ruining the deal, As for the long-term consequences that lie ahead, most people can't see them, nor would they even believe them. So, if you think about it, you're setting yourself up to be targeted by everyone. You've got quite the challenge ahead of you. I can only imagine how stressed you'll feel. How about I recommend a book for you? It's called 100 Ways to De-Stress and Live Your Best. I'll offer you a 30% discount right now.
Oh, again? No way we're falling for that.
Travel edition travel pack. ×3. You'll be right near the waypoint. Something right here.
Recommend going there.
There's a road here.
Let's roll! Strike up! Wheel of life.
Shine down!
There's a dendro.
Take them. I have no leave.
Your journey ends here.
There is no escape!
Sand, your sacrifice is ready.
Look at a tiger and then no effort needed. Quest complete. Get away. Up. What's inside now?
We got news for you. What the smugglers are really after is a chance to research the Court of Desolation. They're hosting an auction in the desert to sell canned knowledge about those ruins.
The Court of Desolation. I won't ask how you came by this intel. But is it reliable?
Oh, we have to go at the moment.
We also heard that the Court of Desolation contains treasures from the time of King Deshret. Is that true?
What? What banners? I don't know, buddy, because I don't play it. I see you doing stuff like, but I have no idea what you're doing. It was probably the day before the patch, then maybe. The Court of Desolation contains new treasures from the time of the King Deshret.
Partially. It was a secret place built by a dark sect from the age of King Deshret. The ruins do contain treasures, but the place is also rife with unknown dangers. According to past research, one must forfeit their life as the price of entering. They are not some ordinary ruins, so the Academia has strictly prohibited any related research. However, if they are using the canned knowledge as a way to move information and recruit researchers, then I suppose your conclusion does hold some validity.
You play what?
Regardless, we need to go into the desert.
The bottom one. Are people trying to study the Court of Desolation?
Less in recent years. But there are always those who attempt to do so, both inside and outside the Academia. After all, legends claim that whoever obtains the treasures inside can see beyond life and death. Or even resurrect the dead. Death is often the greatest grievance for many people. Though they're fully aware that the chance of these rumors being true are slim, they hold tight to such fantasies and pursue them regardless. That's why some continue to research it, regardless of it being a restricted subject. On top of that, it's hard to track the source of information contained in canned knowledge. Do you know where the auction is taking place? Good. We'll go investigate. But before that, we'll have to get rid of these people tailing us.
Huh? People tailing us?
That's right. Let's begin to leave town and see what happens. I'm sure they'll reveal themselves as soon as we make a move. Don't worry. I'll make short work of them.
That's Sino for ya. But we can lend a hand too, you know.
Leave town. There's no good food here. There's no Taco Bell here. We have to leave. I have something I was about to heat up too. Eat for dinner, but I had some Chipotle at work because someone was buying work and they had a 50% discount. I was like, sure, take some too. I think eat good for $10. Except the burrito was disappointingly small.
Hold it right there.
Look at the
Heading to the
floating
desert,
thing.
are we? I would think
The wrong
twice
spot.
if I were you.
I have one cute girl. Nice little desert top.
You!
That doesn't matter. All you need to know is that someone wishes to inform you that it's not too late to turn back. Ah, you must be Sino. I've heard a lot about you. You've got quite a reputation. But this time you're in over your head. Unless you turn around right now, I'm afraid that even you won't return unscathed. And as for you two, why bother sticking your noses in trouble that doesn't even concern you? Hmm?
Can't all just become a problem. We're here to help Sino. We don't give a shit. We're just here to help Sino.
That's right! We won't just sit back and do nothing!
Ha! Have you really thought it through? You're not just doing this for recognition, are you, Sino? My employer said that he's willing to compromise as long as you just walk away. He could, for example, reduce the amount of canned knowledge on the market. I'm sure that would help your investigation appear to be successful
But
enough.
it means this guy has actual knowledge of stuff.
On top of that, he's willing to give you a cut of the profit.
Cut of
So
the
you
profit.
see, you get both Mora and a boost to your reputation. I can't think of a reason why you would pass that up.
Is that so? Well, I can't think of a reason why I'd accept. I've heard enough. Get out of my way.
Sorry, no can do. We're getting paid to ensure you disappear. Since you won't turn back willingly, then we're gonna have to make you go back.
That's close enough.
I love how the cute girl is like always just like the weakest one. She has like a little puny axe that doesn't really do anything.
Attaboy!
Illusion shattered.
I always try to kill the girl last. There you go.
Shutting down.
That's it? Only 6 people?
This doesn't change anything. You're in over your head, Sino. There will be others coming for you. You'll regret it. Let's get out of here.
Can we follow him?
No need. Even if we apprehend them, there'll be little information to gain. Besides, it might also be a trap.
He literally said he has knowledge about the boss, so...
I apologize for bringing you into this dangerous mess. Just being associated with me will inevitably cause you to become targets as well. You should be careful from now on. Sleep with one eye open.
Yeah, we'll just make Pylon not sleep.
Hold on! There's No way anyone could sleep without closing their eyes. Right?
You'd be surprised. Anyway, just be careful. Mercenaries are never quick to forget. In their line of work, even a single failure is bad for reputation. They may even stay hidden in some dark corner for a very long time, waiting for the right moment to ambush you. They'll do anything to keep their prestige intact.
Encountered this kind of situation before, Stein.
Yes. I remember it like it was yesterday. I was
Well,
carrying
yesterday.
out a mission with one of my superiors. I didn't have much experience at the time, and I let my guard down after we had closed the case. We ended up being attacked by the remainder of the mercenaries. My superior was injured while protecting me, and we struggled to gain control of the situation. I've become more vigilant ever since, staying alert even while I sleep.
Whoa! Who could have seen that coming? Was he okay?
He survived with a fractured wrist. It took 2 months for him to recover. But luckily, there weren't any further complications. Last year, he transferred to an administrative role for personal reasons, and no longer participates in live missions.
A little schoolgirl-like skirt.
His name is Taj Ratkani, a very well-respected Matra. You'll have the chance to meet him someday. Anyway, our mission will be dangerous. I'm already used to such grueling conditions, but I don't want to see you two get hurt.
Don't worry, Paimon will stay alert. We'll see danger coming a mile away.
We'll throw food at Paimon and she'll never see it coming. Let's be a lot secret. Let's do our best.
Good. Don't worry. It won't be long till we're at the bottom of this. And once this is all over, I'll sweep away any other hidden dangers.
The end. That's just it. While we're here. Random solo crossbow person.
Go.
I forgot how convenient it was traveling this large-ass area. Those are fruits. And berry.
So hot. If only there was some shade for us to cool off under.
You should take a break.
We still have a long way to go, so you'll need to hang in there for a while longer. This is not a good place to rest anyway.
Okay. But don't you feel hot too, Sino?
Of course, but I'm accustomed to these conditions.
Care to share any tips? Paimon's about to melt away.
Just try to stay focused. Use your willpower to support your mind. The moment you start to give in is when you'll feel more tired. Take one step after another. Don't let your mind perceive your body's limitations. We must get somewhere safe before we can relax.
Okay, if you say so.
Yeah,
but where would be a more safe place to rest? Paimon thinks this is a perfect perfectly safe place to stop. Just look around. It's just sand and desert. There aren't any monsters for miles
Except
around.
those right there.
Whoa! Where do these scorpions come from?
Watch out. Something's not right about them.
Attaboy!
Strike a pose.
Aw, they didn't drop any food.
Well, Paimon really didn't expect to see those here.
Those weren't just normal scorpions. See? There are marked numbers on their pincers. They were raised by someone.
What do you mean?
Someone doesn't want us to show up at the auction. These scorpions were sent to keep us away. We are surrounded by desert as far as the eye can see. If we were killed out here, nobody would ever know.
This place is super dangerous. Good thing we didn't let our guard down.
Something's not right. There are no roads in the desert, so how could they know where we are?
Follow Paimon.
Stay still.
Tracking orb.
Here's the answer. They must have planted this on you.
Huh? What is it?
A miniature tracking device made by the Ksharawar. They can use this to discern your approximate location, but this device wasn't licensed for mass production. Where did they get it? Could someone from the Ksharawar also be involved? But that doesn't seem right.
Whoa! Paimon never knew that kind of thing even existed. Why would it be on him?
They probably planted it on the Traveler during our fight with the mercenaries earlier.
Sorry, didn't even notice.
It was a frantic fight. It's only natural you didn't notice the device.
Well, good thing you were able to find it, Sino. Now let's get rid of it.
But using it could probably find them.
No. Hold on to it for now. It might still be useful for us. Let's keep heading to the auction. It would be dangerous to linger here any longer.
Treasure compass does not detect any.
Fast.
They're not important. Conveniently nighttime.
Weird. Is this where the auction is?
Nobody here, and lots of free canned knowledge.
Yeah, not a single soul. Maybe they're on break right now or something.
We didn't waste any time getting here after we defeated those mercenaries. They shouldn't have been able to give any warning of our arrival. But even so, they still knew we were coming. Someone here must have been watching the tracker, and warned everyone to clear out.
Aw, what should we do now?
We searched the area. They couldn't have moved all the knowledge capsules so quickly. There might still be something left for us to find.
Alright, let's take a good look around the area.
Free canned knowledge seems to have nothing to do with the Court of Desolate. Large amount of canned knowledge has been piled here, enough to fetch 3 extremely large amount of more of the market price. The piece of drinking water usually seems to be unaffected. Desert people bury shit.
Nice.
And footprints have not been completely buried by the sand. Also, with speculative direction, no merchants escape on the foot.
Did you find anything?
No, nothing in particular.
Only some average-looking knowledge capsule.
It's possible there weren't many knowledge capsules containing info about the Court of Desolation, so they carried those off. But don't worry. I have another idea. You two start heading back the way we came. Come back and meet me here after some time has passed. I'm sure something will come up by then.
Well, that's why you wanted to carry the tracking device.
They packed up in a hurry and didn't have time to carry off all their goods. They won't just leave them here. Once they think we've left the premises, they'll be back to pick up their belongings. We just need to make sure the tracker goes far enough from here to make them assume that it's safe to come back.
Oh, Paimon gets it. We'll lure them out because they'll think we've left. Okay, we'll start heading away and leave this place to you.
Yes, and don't worry. If they dare to return, I'll make sure they stay.
I'll make sure they stay.
There's no time to lose. Leave as soon as you're ready.
You never even rested. Oh, we missed one. I think it's all the way the fuck over there.
But a momentary distraction.
So tired. We've probably gone far enough now, right?
Far enough, we should go a little further.
Further? Well, Paimon can't go another step. How about we rest here for a while?
You sit and rest for a little while nearby.
It's probably about time for us to head back to the auction. Let's go. Maybe Sino's finally found some leads.
Oh, there's one down there, but first let's get these flies. There it is.
Strike a pose.
Illusion shattered.
Just surfing my...
Play.
What a bountiful harvest!
I am the...
Show me this.
Oh, looks like Sino caught someone! So you're the bad guy behind all this, aren't ya? Alright, tell time on everything you know!
But the smuggling, does he have any important
I
option?
didn't act immediately when he showed up. Rather, I laid low and observed for a while instead. He is not the primary instigator, but he is most likely one of the more important dealers here. Am I right?
Yes, impressive. You certainly live up to your reputation, Sino. If I had any idea you were still around, I wouldn't have gotten so greedy.
Huh? Greedy? What do you mean by that?
Once everyone knew you were coming, all the canned knowledge dealers abandoned their goods and fled at once. Obviously, there wasn't time to pack up everything. Since all the goods were just left here unsupervised, I thought I'd use the opportunity to come back and take what I could. You know, free merchandise is good business, but... I suppose there's no use explaining it now.
You must know who's manufacturing and selling the canned knowledge, correct? Will you tell us willingly? Or do I need to make you talk?
No, I'll talk. But before that, perhaps we can take the conversation elsewhere? If we stay here, chances are that someone will see me with you. That would put both me and my family in danger.
All right. Where do you suggest we go?
How about my home in Aru Village? It should be safe there.
Fine. Let's head out. You can throw away the tracker now, Traveler.
Listen, buddy, you better not try to trick us!
Come on now. Do you really think I'd try to pull anything under Sino's watch? Seriously, what can I even do?
Our village.
Oh, we have guests? Hi there.
This is my daughter, Seeming. She can be a little shy of strangers. Why don't you run along now, dear? Dad needs to talk with our guests.
Oh, okay.
Everyone knows Sino in our business, but let me ask, who are you two?
Paimon, and this is the Traveler.
To be honest, I really didn't expect to see Sino, the lone operator, working with any partners. When I saw the tracker start moving away, I assumed you had decided to just go back empty-handed. But even though you caught me, I'd still urge you to stop while you still can. You should abandon this investigation.
Why is that?
Everything from the manufacturing of canned knowledge to the sales and even splitting the profits. Every step of the process involves dozens, if not hundreds of people. Massive profits have brought everyone together in this business. Everyone will try their best to defend this industry that we've worked to build. It will be a long and difficult fight, even for you, Sino. And even if you manage to win in the end, no one will thank you. If anything, you yourself might even feel remorse. Why are you so bent on putting us out of business?
Everyone has their own reasons for what they do. I don't have to explain mine.
Here's some tea, Dad. And for the guests, too.
Right. I forgot to offer tea to our guests. Thank you.
Don't mention it. And, I should tell you that our tea tastes kind of bitter, but I put some sugar in to make it a little tastier.
That's my girl. Do we still have any sugar left? If not, I'll buy some more next time.
Yes, we do. Okay, I'm gonna go have a rest now.
Didn't you say that everyone's in it for the massive profits? That sure doesn't seem to be the case for you.
Actually, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. I was hoping to ask you for a favor. My daughter was born with a chronic disease, so she has a relatively weak heart and lungs. Even slightly strenuous exercise can cause her to faint and prove to be a life-threatening risk. That's why she never really had any friends to play with, and why she locks herself up in her room most of the time. She has to take lots of medicine, and it doesn't come cheap. As for me, I was just an average merchant. I would wake up early and travel all around to make a profit. But the Mora was still nowhere near enough. I could only watch my daughter's health deteriorate day by day. Until one day, someone reached out and showed me a way to really make a profit.
Selling canned knowledge?
That's right. With all the Mora I made, I could finally afford medical treatment for my daughter. Nothing made me happier than seeing her get better. There are many others like me. Smuggling canned knowledge might seem like an unforgivable crime to you, but to us, it's a means of survival. I wanted to tell you all this so that maybe you could understand and change your mind. Please, stay out of this, Sino. Give us a way to survive.
Oh no. That means that if we prevent the sale of canned knowledge, his daughter will...
I must get to the truth. I can find someone to help treat your child, but I cannot turn a blind eye to the smuggling. These are two completely different issues.
I somehow knew you would say that. But having your word to help my daughter is enough for me. Since you insist on continuing the investigation, you should have a look around the back of my home. You'll find some goods I received just recently. I think everything will become clear to you once you see them.
At the back of the house. I know.
Whoa! Look at all of this!
Yes, all neatly packed away and organized in boxes. To think that this is only one dealer's worth. Small producers couldn't possibly support such a large quantity of goods. Could the academia have a hand in this? but such a volume of goods wouldn't be able to slip through inspection.
Huh? Look! These seem different from the other
Fluence.
knowledge capsules we've seen. Maybe they contain knowledge about the Court of Desolation.
Yes, that would make sense. Wait, what's this?
Some sort of marking we've never seen before. You know what it is, Sam?
Yes, it's a Matra seal, indicating that the goods have passed Matra inspection. I started to suspect that someone in the academia might be involved when I found the tracker earlier. But how they could ship so much canned knowledge out of the academia was still a mystery. The pieces have now all fallen into place. With this Matra seal, goods can leave the academia without undergoing a second inspection. No wonder they don't want me to investigate. It turns out that a Matra is behind this. Even I find it hard to believe.
Could be a misunderstanding, but no.
Could I ask you for a favor, Traveler? Since all this canned knowledge came from the academia, then it's highly likely that the knowledge regarding the Court of Desolation originated from research files stored within the academia. If we can enter the repository, we can find out who accessed these files. But, considering my current status, if I suddenly show up at the academia now, it will only draw unnecessary attention. You'll need to be the one who checks the records. I'll write a letter to Nabil, and he'll take you there.
Sure thing! Leave it to us!
I'll also keep working here in the meantime. Although our leads are all currently pointing to someone within the academia, it's obvious that they also have power outside of it. We can get more information on other dealers from Bahari. I'll stay here and make some preparations. You can come find me anytime if you uncover more info.
Finals introduction.
If you start sniffing around the academia, it won't be long before people catch on to you. And once word gets out, they'll soon be after my daughter and I.
Don't worry. I'll find them before things escalate that far. But if you still feel uneasy, then why don't you tell me about anyone else you know who was involved? The more information I have, the safer you will be.
All right.
Yeah, like the one I did before, like the Albedo one was actually like 4 quests. They like the good question. Kinda really depends on how much story they're trying to tell in the first place.
Oh.
Hello, we meet again. Have you managed to find Sino? If so, how's he doing?
The letter from Sino.
I read the letter, and must admit that I hadn't expected things to be so serious. Sorry. Had I known it would be so dangerous, I never would have gotten you two involved.
It's alright. We wanted to help Sino too.
I can tell that he really trusts you. The research files stored away in the restricted repository are far from ordinary. Everything there is essentially about dangerous research that's forbidden by the academia. Even I don't usually have authorization to enter. But with this letter from Sino, it shouldn't be a problem.
Forbidden research.
That's right. Granted, the academia is very supportive when it comes to research. They encourage scholars to conduct all kinds of studies. However, Some forms of research have proven to be so dangerous that the Matra have to step in and put a stop to them. Normally, after some particular research becomes prohibited, the majority of the related files will be destroyed. But some information may be retained as a record to warn later researchers. Such information is kept in the restricted repository, which is heavily guarded. Follow me, I'll show you. Hopefully, we'll find the answers that Sino is looking for.
The restricted repository. Sounds kinda dangerous. We'd better keep an eye out.
Yes, because those books will hurt you. Bye-bye. Here's the situation about the repository manager.
Okay, I understand. Since Sino is vouching for you, I suppose we can trust you. You may browse the information regarding the Court of Desolation. Ask me if you have any questions, but I'd suggest avoiding any other research files. Sometimes the less you know, the better.
We'll read everything. Activates the device, the secret door opens for repository.
So this is the restricted repository. I never thought I'd see the inside of it. This is a first for both you and me.
Well, thanks to Sino. Do you know Sino?
There are many who do not openly converse with others within the academia. But even so, there are very few who I feel could be trusted with a real secret. Sino happens to be one of them. Even though he's no longer in the academia, I still trust him. And that goes for anyone he trusts as well. The files are over there. Just make it quick. We have an alarm set behind the bookshelf for security purposes.
Behind the bookshelf?
Be careful not to bump it when you're taking out the files.
Here's Court of Desolation. Mechanical Life Forms Research Data. As Automata researcher who was expelled from the academia for studying mechanical life forms. It was making sound before, so let's go into your headset. Text interpretation mount. So the Harabad researcher being sentenced to prison for deciphering forbidden documents. Field materials, the Court of Desolation. Despite repeated prohibitions, research of the Court of Desolation in the past decade has increased without cease. Hope, what are you doing? Researchers who study the Court of Desolation mainly go through 3 stages: discovery, investigation, fanaticism. The earliest stage of research is relatively basic discovery phase. It causes little to no harm. The results of their discoveries will show that the treasure related to life and death may be hidden within the Court of Desolation. There's the rumor bringing the dead back to life if we can. Following the initial phase of prolonged investigation phase. Or playing game. Those are the fun ones. The prolonged investigation phase. All documentation regarding this location of the Court of Desolation has been vague at best. The results of structure itself have never been truly discovered. Many researchers deplete their resources searching in the desert only to find a scant few remaining stone tablets. No words entering the Court of Desolation comes at the price of one's life. 2 different interpretations of the line quickly emerge as a result. Some believe that the price of one's life is the key to entering the Desolation, while others believe that it was a requirement for the court to appear. Because the Court of Desolation has never been discovered, the latter view has generally become mainstream. As a result, many researchers, when when in a short period of time were taken by their fervent desire to make the court of desolation appear, they attempted to sacrifice their lives. So research became increasingly dangerous and eventually banned. And after that, many research academia scholars secretly continued their research. It was not until 7 scholars, including Murtada Radkani, were arrested for the court of were, were arrested for that research into the court of legislation entered a period of stagnation.
Whoa, there's a lot to read here. Have you found anything yet?
The researcher's name sounds familiar.
It reminds Paimon of Sino's former partner.
His former partner? That would be Taj Radkani. But you're not far off. Murtada Radkani was Taj's only son.
What? Taj's son went to prison for researching the Court of Desolation?
Why do you sound so surprised? You're a Matra, aren't you?
It's just that they arrested him in secret, so it was never publicly known. All I knew was that Taj's son was taken to prison. It's not just me. I bet even Sino didn't know about it.
So we can meet Murtada.
No. Unfortunately, there isn't. He took his own life not long after he went to prison. You've heard about Taj, right? I know Nabil has. Every Matra knows him. I would say he's probably pushing 50 this year, which makes him one of the most experienced Matra. He is a man of integrity and honesty, and has made countless achievements. His reputation goes back a long way now. He used to be Sino's only partner. Taj is also skilled with the polearm, so the two of them used to practice together when they weren't out on a mission.
Ah, right. I heard Sino mention that before. But one day, Taj suddenly decided to retire from active duty and transfer to an administrative position. I wonder if it had anything to do with the Murtada incident.
Taj was already very well known by the time Murtada was born. So when Murtada came to study at the academia, everyone had high expectations of him. He had to face a lot of pressure. Then he had an unpleasant dispute with his father, but they were eventually able to work things out. Not long after they had reconciled, Murtada was caught studying the Court of Desolation, which is in violation of academia rules. Taj arrested his son and put him behind bars. He begged for leniency, but Taj wouldn't agree. Shortly after, Murtada slit his own throat with the pieces of a broken bowl. By the time Taj arrived at the scene, it was already too late. He never had a last chance to see his son. Since then, Taj has been periodically coming to the repository. He'll hold the files from his son's research with a remorseful look on his face. I guess that's why he chose to move to administrative work.
One reason, maybe.
I had no idea that happened. That must be really hard for Taj. I've never heard him mention that to anyone.
That's awful. Paimon feels terrible now. Are you okay, Traveler?
Did Taj come to the repository? You said Taj went to Murtada's research file?
Wait, don't tell me you're starting to suspect Taj now. Possible. Taj would never do that. I mean, yes, he does have a big reputation and has access to such research. But this is Taj we're talking about. He would never do anything against regulations. Never.
But if you claim that the canned knowledge was originating from the academia, then Taj is indeed a suspect, because he was the only one who could have recently gone through research files about the Court of Desolation. There are so many files about those ruins that it would be difficult to restart any research, since the 7 original researchers were put behind bars. It's hard enough just trying to make sense of these files. However, if the files were made into canned knowledge, they could be understood immediately. By doing so, one could restart the research outside the academia without anyone ever noticing.
But even so...
According to the legends, the treasures inside the Court of Desolation could allow someone to see beyond life and death, or even bring the dead back to life, right? So maybe Taj is trying to bring Murtada back, though I don't really believe Taj would ever try to do something like that. I'm just telling you what I know. It's the job of the Matra to find the truth and track down criminals.
Kind of frozen right now.
Do you have any questions? If not, it'd be best if you would leave now.
Now it's doing something.
Paimon's kind of confused. What should we do from here?
Go ask somewhere else.
Oh, now that I think about it, Sino suspected that the canned knowledge was coming from within the academia, right? There's no way so many boxes could ever get through without drawing any attention. Maybe we could try asking people around the gate of the academia and see what we can find. Don't worry, Taj. I won't let your reputation be tarnished.
Alrighty then, let's go ask around.
Do you have any other questions?
Apparently we do not.
Excuse me. Have you seen any large shipments of goods leaving the academia recently?
Huh. Well, yes, but isn't that pretty normal? The academia consumes so many resources each day, everything from cooking ingredients, raw materials, even equipment for experiments. It's normal for goods to be coming in and out.
Right, but we're looking for shipments with a Matra seal. Have you seen any like that?
That I'm not too sure of. I normally wouldn't notice whether the goods have any seals or not. Maybe you should ask someone else.
Useless person.
The academia has goods coming in and out every day. It's like looking for a needle in a haystack.
Excuse me. Have you seen any large shipments of goods leaving the academia recently?
No, not that I'm aware of. Perhaps you could ask someone else?
Level 3.
Excuse me. Have you seen any large shipments of goods leaving the academia recently?
Huh? Why do you ask?
I'm just checking to ensure nothing unusual has happened.
Well, I can't say it's unusual, but I did notice something. There's a Kashar researcher who's been making frequent shipments recently. Dozen of large boxes each time, if not more. When I asked him about it, he said they just contained a bunch of old worn-out machines. The Kashar used to often sell scrap machines to traveling merchants, so I didn't really think anything of it. But he's been making a lot of shipments lately. There weren't ever so many outdated machines before.
And you didn't find that suspicious? Why didn't you report it for inspection?
Well, the boxes were stamped with a Matra seal. Why should I bother? Of course, I did start to wonder about the seal once, thinking that maybe they forged it or something. But you know what happened? A man named Taj came here and told me that he'd already inspected the goods personally and ordered me to leave the researcher alone. I couldn't question his word, could I?
Possible. There must be some sort of mistake. There's no way Taj would ever...
Calm down, hero.
No, I won't believe it. Taj is an honorable man. Someone must be trying to frame him. Wait, I know another Matra who works with Taj. I can ask him to let us speak with Taj.
Comes off and returns to someone.
As I've already told you, I don't have any way to contact Taj. A few Eremites showed up looking for Taj yesterday, and he met with them in his office. I was standing outside of the door, and I vaguely heard them say, "Found it."
Your hand.
Before I realized it, the door opened, and Taj left with the group of them. I noticed that he had also changed into Eremite attire.
My attire.
Taj didn't come to work today, so I've also started to feel a little concerned about the whole thing.
Ow, ow, ow.
If you'd like to speak with him,
Watch
maybe you
those
can try
nails.
visiting his home. He lives just on the outskirts of
nails.
Sumeru City.
A group of eremites? Could Taj really be the one making all the canned knowledge?
No way. Taj is just like Sino. They're considered heroes among the Matra. There's no way that he would...
Goes home and have a look.
Fine. Looks like there's no other choice.
Hey, don't let it get to you just yet. We'll get to the bottom of this once and for all.
Huh. Was my intuition right? Was there really something wrong with those goods?
Was.
Taj lives on the outskirts of Sumeru City.
They're looking for him there.
So, this is Taj's place. There doesn't seem to be anyone here.
Well, what should we do then? Do we break in?
I set it all on fire.
No. Wait, the door's unlocked. Did Taj leave in a hurry? Well, anyway, we're still not sure if he's the real culprit. Probably not a good idea to go in without permission.
The door is open. Another option, though. This in order to clear his name.
You're right. Even if we apply for a warrant now, we won't be able to do anything until tomorrow at the earliest. This is an emergency. I just hope Taj doesn't mind.
Enter Taj's home and search around.
What's this?
It's a paper full of names written on it. Oh, and a map. Nabil, can you make any sense of this?
Yes, this is definitely Taj's handwriting. These papers look like records. These are the transactions between Taj and some other people. From the look of the numbers, the scale of this smuggling case is absolutely massive. The whole operation involves more than 300 people, including dozens of celebrities. These are famous scholars, merchants, mercenaries. I have a feeling that Sino might be unaware of what he's up against. There's no way anyone could face such a large organization on their own.
He's aware of this. Even so, he won't back down.
You're right. That's just who he is. As for the map, it appears to indicate the location of the Court of Desolation. Let's take it to Sino and let him decide how to proceed.
In the place where the sand is always falling in.
If Taj really has turned on his honor and committed these terrible acts, then I suspect that he might already be at the Court of Desolation as we speak. I don't want to suspect him, but I also don't know him very well. Maybe Sino will know what to do.
All right, we'll give these to Sino and see. Let's go.
I don't want to suspect him, but I also don't know him very well. Maybe Sino will know what to do.
One ancient map. Didn't do last time. Enter a crackpot. Because the other quest was somehow special.
This realm is truly...
No one cares.
If you ever have any...
Back to the village.
I hope I can be as cool as...
Join the Eremites and embrace a wonderful...
Tell Sino everything that's happened.
Well, Sino, what do you make of it?
Gosh. It's been a while since I last saw him. From what I remember, he is a straight-laced man. Although he would resort to extreme measures from time to time. He would never do anything against his beliefs.
So do you think he's the one behind all this?
I'm still not sure. I cannot imagine how devastating the incident with Mortada was for him. Nor can I deny the possibility that people can change. Whether it's out of love for his son or for other reasons. We have to see for ourselves to judge him. Or rather, the person he's become.
Evidence is stacked against him now.
That's right. It's clear that he had a hand in this case, yet he made no report of it. There's no doubting that. That's also why I need to see him. I must ask his reasoning and judge him myself. Time is ticking. Let's go.
Start from the high ground. For desolation and a party. The strange association built this secret base at the some point during the Atomic King District. The secret to reviving the east is hidden here to negate your harpooning regular. We don't really need him anymore.
There's still so many places for us to explore.
Weed, water, and thunder.
So this is the Court of Desolation. Are there really any treasures buried here? Oh, Paimon's kinda nervous. Could it be dangerous?
Don't worry. You'll be safe with me.
Oh, Wheel of Life. Look, these walls have definitely seen better days. Was there some sort of fight here? Let's keep going and see what we can find. Whoa, is it just Paimon? Or did that passageway just rotate? It's not gonna start moving again, is it? Either way, we should be careful.
We're not currently in some arrows, so can't use the.
The Temple of Wisdom. Go.
There is no escape.
Passage. Hopefully that's our way in. That eye seems to be staring right at us. This place gives Paimon the creeps. You go first.
Back the other way.
Life goes on. Shine down!
Okay, mini cutscene.
Tosh.
Ah, Sino. It's been some time since I've seen you last. I trust you are doing well. Seeing that you've made it all the way here, you must be on the cusp of wrapping up your investigation, I presume. Even faster than I expected. Is it because you have some new partners now?
That's right. This case is nearly closed. But the most important answer still eludes me. Was it all your doing? Smuggling the canned knowledge? The research of the Court of Desolation?
Yes, it was me.
Then explain why.
That's the difficult part. Let's just say I've changed. I've become a selfish coward who only wants to pursue his own interests.
I find that hard to believe.
Oh, really? Way I see it, every person will end up like me sooner or later. When you're young, you press forward, unattached, living solely for the justice in your heart. But as you begin to age, you start to become more cautious. You know many things are wrong, but still turn a blind eye to them. I was the same. I never questioned my actions until Murtada died. I could feel the justice that I once strived to uphold slowly crumbling in my heart. I was completely dedicated to all that I did, but as I grew older, I found myself feeling alone, miserable. Can you imagine what it feels like to not have the will to live, but not be able to die? Murtada was sent to prison by my own hands. I set myself on this painful path. My son hated me till the day he died, and now I must live with that pain and regret. I failed him as a father. But now I have a chance to make it right. A chance to reunite with him. The Court of Desolation. Here lies the key to overcoming life and death. The power to even bring the dead back to life.
So, did you already find what you needed here?
See this door behind me? Behind it lies the treasures that I seek. I'm so close, Sino. If only you hadn't arrived now, I could already have...
Enough conjecture. What has happened is already part of the past. You cannot bring the dead back to life. In the end, the treasures you seek are nothing but myths and legend.
Since you're so sure, why don't you just let me open the door and see then?
No. I sense danger behind that door. There will be dire consequences the moment you open it.
I beg you, as an old partner, can you let me fulfill my last wish just this once? Surely you get it by now. Doing your job without mercy will only drive people away from you. I'm the prime example.
I don't overthink things. If there is only one way for me to defend my principles, then that is the path I will take.
Seems there's no convincing you. All right then. Let's see if your polearm skills have improved at all. This power is mine.
Everyone hold hands.
I will set things right no matter what.
I see everything. We all have a sacred name. Fortune.
Illusion shattered.
Make yourselves at home.
Through me. As I thought.
Yep, you finally got to use
strength.
You feel it, don't you? I'm stronger than you remember. I gained new power when I entered the Court of Desolation. This is only a taste of it. Once I open the door behind me, this power will be complete. Even life and death will have no grip on me.
Uh-oh. We have to stop this guy!
I won't let you open that door.
I wouldn't be so sure. I'm afraid it won't be easy to stop me now that you're injured. Or are you ready to sacrifice your life for this?
I'll do what I have to.
I still remember when we first became partners. You were always charging forward and putting your life on the line, just like now. Even after all this time, You still haven't changed.
You haven't changed either. You left that list of names and map in your house on purpose, didn't you? You wanted me to be able to find you here. All of this was just part of the act you were putting on. What happened just now was also part of your plan. You might have fooled those on the list, but you will not fool me. I had my suspicions from the beginning, but I couldn't be sure until we fought. If he really had changed, your fighting style wouldn't be as it was before.
Huh? What do you mean, Sino?
He never planned on opening the door. His true intention was...
Seems our time is running short. Let me make this quick then. After Mortada died, my spirit was crushed. For a long time, I was hoping this reality was just some terrible nightmare. I hoped I would just wake up and be able to see his smiling face again.
But
that is when I was approached by someone who wished to collaborate and find the Court of Desolation together. I did some investigation of my own and discovered they were part of a massive organization. People from every walk of life are involved. They are relentless in their search, pouring countless mora into secret research, even sacrificing lives, in hopes that the Court of Desolation would appear.
No wonder banning the research wasn't enough. A full-scale operation was already in motion.
I'm a flesh and blood human like anyone else, so I obviously hesitated and considered it. The thought of bringing my son back tugged at my heart, but in the end, I came to my senses. I knew that I could not let myself go down that path. I suddenly came to a realization amidst my suffering. The Court of Desolation, a place that once drove people to tragedy, was still doing so, even centuries later. As long as this place exists, people will recklessly seek it out, just as Mortada did, generation after generation, regardless of the cost. Let it be buried beneath the sand forever. Once the Court of Desolation is gone, there will no longer be anyone obsessed with seeking it out.
Yep. Damage you saw on the way here. You're really going to destroy the Court of Desolation.
That's right. I acted as if I had abandoned my convictions just so that they would cooperate without raising any suspicion. This was the only way I could find and destroy this place. But that wasn't enough. I needed someone I could trust to bring the organization to justice. The Academia forbids the research of the Court of Desolation, so they would never approve my plan in the first place. To add to the problem, the organization is so powerful that they even have members working within the Academia. If I wished to destroy the organization, I couldn't just count on the Academia alone.
So, you pretended to be the one behind all this, as a test for me.
Yes. I'm sorry, but now I am assured. You haven't changed at all. You are still as you always were, fearless, and making no compromise. Anyway, this place is collapsing. You must leave now.
Wait! Aren't you leaving too? There are still loads of bad guys to catch outside!
His fate is already sealed. There is no life left inside him. He is like a candle with no more wick to burn.
He means to open the Court of Desolation, one must sacrifice their life.
You planned it all from the very beginning, didn't you? Risking being treated as a traitor to collaborate with them. Sacrificing your own life to open and destroy the Court of Desolation.
Regardless, I made a grave mistake by allowing the smuggling and the research of this place. Let this be the final judgment on myself. I was always so busy with work that I never made time to fulfill Mortada's wishes. Finding this place was his biggest wish. Since I'll be reuniting with him here, I can only hope he won't have anything more to hold against me. I'll leave all those people on the list to you. Sorry for all the trouble I've caused.
There's nothing to be sorry for. We are partners. If you see Mortada, send him my greetings. Goodbye, old friend.
Dad, why are they so strict with me? I'm always the only one who gets in trouble.
Just leave me alone! Don't worry, I won't damage your precious reputation.
Alright, Dad. Let's start over. By the way, I finally found an area of research I wish to pursue. Why can't you show even a little leniency? Why?
Because we are Matra.
Epic sad cutscene.
The Court of Desolation has...
Just as Taj said, that place had caused too many disasters and tragedies. Being buried in quicksand is its rightful end.
Of the organization.
To them, as long as there's Mora to be made, they will disregard the Academia's rules, whether it's the Court of Desolation or anything else. Their only goal is to make massive profits off of dangerous research. Taj may have set them back with the Court of Desolation, but it won't be long before they continue searching for another target. That's an opportunity that I will not let them have.
We'll help too.
And then that's probably the basis for the second story for him. That's coming out in the second half of the patch.
But you've already done enough. Just leave the rest to me. I will bring them to justice myself. Besides, I promised you that I would sweep away any potential danger. So, that's what I'm going to do. Wait for me at Caravan Rebop 4 days from now.
4 days? That's the first one to actually make you wait that long. Two days? Letter 2. Ended. Ended. Caravan Rebot.
We meet again. Thank you so much for all your help.
Nabil, what are you doing here?
Convicts from the desert are being escorted through Caravan Rebot, so I'm here to keep an eye on things. This should be the last group of them, so I'll be heading back to the Academia once they're cleared.
What's the situation? What's happening these last few days?
The last few days have been quite the ride, but fortunately, I can say with confidence that this case is finally coming to an end. At first, the mercenary groups on the list were putting up quite a fight. They made several desperate attempts to cover up the truth. However, Sino crossed the desert and took out their main camp overnight. After that, people on the list started to put pressure on the higher-ups within the Academia. Everyone was on edge, and the case came to a standstill.
And? Then what happened?
Well, then we received word that Taj Rudkani had sacrificed himself on the case. The news really stirred up the members of our ranks. The Matra then moved together against the enemy. We cleared out the traitors from within the academia and arrested all the researchers on the list. Some of them managed to get out of the academia, but still failed to escape. The scattered criminals were captured by Sino all across Sumeru. I even heard that someone was about to escape to Fontaine, but was still apprehended just at the border.
Fontaine.
Having more than 300 prisoners apprehended for interrogation has definitely shaken things up recently.
Is Sino alright? He didn't get injured, did he?
He seems fine, but nobody knows the real situation. He brought over 300 suspects to judgment all on his own. Among them were even some of our former colleagues. Not just the criminals are afraid of him. Even we start feeling a little nervous when he's around now. But even if we start feeling all self-conscious, thinking if we've done anything wrong, we're still always honored to have Sino around. By the way, are you guys here to see Sino? I think I just saw him walking in that direction when I was on watch nearby. He was walking with someone I didn't recognize, and then before I knew it, they were nowhere to be seen. If you happen to see him, please send my regards.
Sure thing, Nabil. You be careful too. Don't let any of those bad guys escape.
Don't worry about me. If anything happens, you can find me at the Academia anytime. Farewell then.
And he's gone.
Trying to single-handedly bring 300 people to justice must feel pretty exhilarating, but I can assure you this is certainly not the best solution.
I'm aware. However, I learned something unexpected during interrogation. Apparently, someone had enticed Murtada Radkani into becoming interested in researching the Court of Desolation. Murtada had lived in his father's shadow all his life. Naturally, he wanted to conduct research that would seem groundbreaking and significant. After Murtada died, the organization tried to use Taj's shame regarding his son to add him to their ranks. Toying with others' minds, treating lives like dirt, and doing anything for their own interests. This makes me angry.
Fine, I understand. This is a type of trap I've been working on which uses plants. Here, take some just in case you need them next time.
You're right, buddy. You keep leaving and joining.
If thrown into the mud, the trap will grow rapidly and disperse a pollen that has a paralyzing effect. I don't have much use for the traps these days, but maybe you will, and can help me collect more testing data.
Sino! Tainari! Oh, so Tainari must be who Nabil saw earlier. Are you also here to
Forest furry, desert furry.
That's right. Sino asked me to collect some medicinal herbs to treat a girl named Semin. I also dropped by just to check for any injuries. He seems to be fine physically, but he looks a little more lonely than I remember. And Sino,
looks more lonely.
Relax. You don't always have to look so serious, you know. Why don't you play more Genius Invocation TCG, huh? Kale has always been a little wary of you, and your stern expression certainly isn't helping.
How is Kale these days?
She's grown a bit taller, but her grades could use some improvement. She still made many mistakes on her last test, even after I had marked all the important content in the book for her.
You've been joining and leaving the Discord a couple times now.
After some time, I plan on having her go outside more. It just so happens that I have something she can help me with.
Huh? You mean Kale is leaving Avidia Forest? What happened?
I've asked her to host some ad hoc lectures to teach the dangers of canned knowledge, as well as how to use it safely. Although we've apprehended all the criminals behind the recent smuggling case, there are many people who are still curious and seek canned knowledge. So, I decided to ask her to work on increasing knowledge and awareness on the topic. Please be sure to keep an eye on her.
I will.
If anything else happens, the three of you can find me in the Avidia Forest.
Here.
I've already caught those who were preparing to attack you in secret. Even if some criminals did slip through our fingers, they wouldn't know that you were involved in the case. So you can relax.
But what about you, Sino?
It's still not time for me to rest yet. Those who died have fulfilled their wishes, but those who are alive must continue pressing forward. I've been thinking about what Taj said in the Court of Desolation these last few days. His words were not empty. People do change, and no belief can completely resist the erosion of time.
Ooh.
I just hope my own change will come slowly, so that I can press on a little further. That way, those who see me as their superior, and those who are following in my footsteps, will learn courage from my example, just as I gained courage from my own superiors, and my partner.
Like a lot of work. Hope it'll make you happy,
I'll be
Sino.
fine. I'm also enjoying my chat with you right now, you know?
Nope, we can't tell.
There are many things I feel better about once I start to talk about them. Many people want to go to the desert to offer condolences for Taj, but I didn't share details with anyone. I'd prefer to avoid revealing the location of the Court of Desolation. One day, I'll gather some flowers that grow in arid desert conditions. And then, I was hoping you'd join me in planting them on the remains of the Court of Desolation.
It could also be in the follow-up quest at the second half of the patch. Next time on the King of Invocations. Nope, that's what Better was saying earlier. That his second quest is going to come out in the second half of the patch. He's going to have another hangout quest.
By the way, something strange happened a few days ago. A merchant approached me and requested that I cover the cost of a desert travel kit. 1,250,000 mora. I didn't remember owing anyone mora, especially not that kind of amount. So I arrested the merchant on charges of provocation and disturbing the peace. Do you know anything about this?
Nope. Paimon has no idea what that could be.
Or he has been arrested.
By the way, a merchant approached me and requested that I cover the cost of a... I didn't remember owing any... Do you know anything?
There should be very few chests. 100, 100, 100, 100. Hopefully these are 100. Last few areas are in the 90s. Honestly, with the new improved compass, it should be much easier to finish all these other areas. Because not only do we get a good direction now, you instantly finish the recast when you get it, but it actually marks it on the fucking map. Funny thing is, there's no boats here either. There is one over here. This is new. This boat was not here before. Yeah, because we could not cross that spot before. This ended like right here. So that path is new. But all of this half... Yeah, because like I said, this is where the tree is, so It's literally ended like right about here, if even that far. There's a boat here, so you can ride all the way there. Oh, of course, those two quests gave me all the dailies. 256 out of 258, so we're almost to the rank up. Where is that Sumeru? Oh, today was a very productive day.
Ad Astra Abyss. Thank you for completing today's commissions. Here is your reward.
You completed the commission by not doing the commissions.
Ad Astra.
$11:40, so I'd say it's perfect. You covered about 3 hours today.
The world remains constant over the centuries, but human life is like the dew at dawn, or a bubble rising through water.
Oh, almost 4 hours.
Transitory.
You think my craftsmanship deserves a higher price? You think my
5.
craftsmanship deserves a higher price?
Go to. Only have to watch about 2.
Inactivity serves no purpose whatsoever.
It's an easy job, isn't it?
Don't you think my craftsmanship deserves a higher price?
In the right.
Don't you think my craftsmanship deserves a higher price?
All the world holds dear is but a backdrop of constant motion. I stand before it, alone and unchanging.
Don't you think my craftsmanship deserves a craftsmanship deserves a higher price.
The world remains constant over the centuries, but human life is like the dew at dawn, or a bubble rising through water. Transitory.
It's an easy job, isn't it?
Don't you think my craftsmanship deserves a higher price? Craftsmanship deserves a
Happy 60th.
higher